All right, this week's discussion is based on preferred learning styles and why we think this belief of the usefulness of learning styles-based instruction persists in the face of compiled evidence. And then the second part is how will this information influence my instruction? And so two reasons exist that the authors stated, and I fully agree with them, is the first, that people and their children want to be seen and treated as individuals. So if I can say that I'm a visual learner, which is what I was taught all through high school, elementary, even college, that I was a visual learner, then great. But in the last several years, I've questioned that idea because I listen to audiobooks. There are no pictures, and I learn quite well. I have to focus my attention, but I learn quite well, and I can recall the information, the content easily. I can't say that I'm a visual learner anymore. The other reason why I think it persists is responsibility. We want to pass the buck. If I'm failing or if the instruction I'm receiving is boring, I want to pass the buck. I want to say that the instructor or the system is failing me because of not presenting the information in a way that fits my learning preference or my learning style. Having sat in on IEP meetings, I want to find better accommodations for all my students, not just students who I'm required to accommodate because of law. You know, these authors in their closing statement talk about how all children are virtuosos as learners. And it is incredible how quickly and easily children can learn when they see the relevancy of the content. A child who is learning to walk will try tirelessly, wearing themselves out, getting that down. And once they have it down, they're going to continue walking, running, and pushing the limits more and more. And same for feeding themselves. They want to be independent. They see how important that is to them. Well, for myself, the question I ask myself is, am I making this content seem valid? Is it relevant to them? Our instruction needs to be optimal for a given student that needs to be guided by the aptitude, prior knowledge, and cultural assumptions that a student brings to a learning task. So if I can create a learning task that takes into account the aptitudes of my artists and non-artists, their prior knowledge, do they understand shading? Do they understand how to hold a pencil or how to smudge purposefully? Do they understand the different stroke types to use with a pencil? And then their cultural assumptions. These things should be influencing my instruction, not are they visual learners, are they verbal learners? And then presenting this information in multiple ways so that I can teach 30 students who have different aptitudes and different levels of knowledge and cultural assumptions. And in doing so, hopefully I'm reaching the majority of them and then going around and meeting with them individually and filling in those gaps. I think that is more important as an instructor than trying to pigeonhole them as what type of a learner they are.